We have more breaking news coming in. This Supreme Court is all set to form an expert committee in the Aravalli definition case, observing that illegal mining can lead to irreversible environmental damage in the Aravalli range. The Supreme Court has sought names of environmentalists and forest experts to constitute a special committee. The apex court said that the panel will carry out exhaustive and holistic examination of mining and allied issues in the region. The Supreme Court has also recorded an assurance from the Rajasthan government that no mining activity will be allowed in the Aravalli region. And hearing a suo motu case on the definition of the Aravalli Hills, a bench led by Chief Justice of India Suryakant warned that illegal mining could cause irreversible environmental damage and said such violations would be dealt with strictly. The interim order protecting the Aravalli region will continue and the matter will be heard once again after 4 weeks. So now an expert committee will be formed on the directions of the Supreme Court to check and also document what's really happening in the Aravalli ranges, whether there's illegal mining happening, and if there is illegal mining happening, then all those violators will be punished. So the expert committee will be formed under the instructions of the Supreme Court on the Aravalli range definition. And right now, as we speak, the Supreme Court has sought suggestions from all the stakeholders on experts panel. The Supreme Court has decided to constitute this particular committee in the crucial Aravalli definition case, underlining the seriousness of environmental concerns surrounding the fragile mountain range. The apex court has now ordered that the illegal mining in the Aravalli range could cause irreversible environmental damage and has also sought names of eminent environmentalists and forest experts to form a special panel. And this committee, as per the court, will undertake an exhaustive and holistic examination of mining and allied activities in the Aravalli region. Every single region will be mapped out by this special committee and they will check what's really happening in each and every pocket of Aravalli range, whether there's illegal mining, and if there is illegal mining happening, whose permission was sought, and whether the permission was sought or not. That is something that the committee will be examining, and all those violators will be punished because mining and other allied activities are strictly prohibited in the Aravalli ranges. And most importantly, viewers, the Supreme Court has also recorded an assurance from the Rajasthan government that no mining activity will be permitted in the Aravalli range. And the matter is being heard as a suo motu case on the definition of the Aravalli Hills, which has wide implications for environmental protection across Rajasthan, Haryana and parts of the national capital region as well. So a bench led by Chief Justice of India Suryakant issued a clear warning stating that illegal mining will be dealt with strictly given the long-term ecological consequences. The court has also clarified that the interim order protecting the Aravalli region will continue, ensuring that the status quo remains in place, and the case will now be taken up after 4 weeks once the expert committee is constituted and begins its assessment of the Aravalli ranges. And this order is being seen as a very, very strong signal from the Supreme Court that environmental safeguards, especially in ecologically sensitive zones like Aravalli ranges, cannot be diluted and must be protected. This is what the Supreme Court has said in its latest ruling, saying that an expert committee will now be formed to ascertain what really is happening. The Supreme Court's intervention, viewers, comes at a time when the Aravalli range is facing unprecedented ecological stress due to unchecked mining, real estate pressure, and even definitional loopholes which had created quite a controversy just a few weeks back. And the core issue before the Supreme Court is the definition of Aravalli Hills. What legally qualifies as the Aravalli range, and therefore what areas must be protected from mining and other commercial activities. Over the years, narrow and fragmented definitions have been used to bypass environmental clearances allowing mining, but that will never happen because an expert committee will take the matter into its own hands. We have Piyush Pandey also joining us on the phone line. Piyush, Supreme Court ने अभी क्या आदेश दिया है और ये एक्सपर्ट कमेटी कब तक फॉर्म किया जाएगा?
Today, Supreme Court extended the stay on its November 20th verdict, ruling that the interim direction keeping and judgment in events will remain in force. The bench of Chief Justice of India Suryakant, Justice Jyotimala Bagchi and Justice Ripple and punctually ordered today to amicus curiae and requested to Solicitor General suggested the names on some eminent environmentalist scientists who are experts having special expertise so that body can be constituted to look into examine all aspects and assist this court. It goes without saying that a certain expert committee will work under the direct control and supervision of the Supreme Court. Some of the councils have pointed out that illegal mining is taking place at scattered places. Today Supreme Court requested amicus curiae and Solicitor General to give name, suggest the name of eminent environmentalists and scientists. They will provide name to court, and then after this hearing, after next hearing, Supreme Court will decide who will preside the committee and who are the member of committee, and then the committee will work and the
Well,
committee
Piyush, sorry to interrupt you here, but when the definition of Aravalli ranges was being discussed in the Supreme Court, an expert committee has already submitted a report on what exactly is happening in the Aravalli ranges. So why is it that another expert committee is being formed?
Because Supreme Court taken so moto after the some incidents happened recently after Supreme Court order, and Supreme Court has taken so moto, and there is a need of eminent environmentalists and experts who suggest what will do in further, and that which committee has been formed by Supreme Court earlier that has given only some suggestions, but this committee is eminent experts and environmentalists, and this committee will suggest what can do by central government, and what can will do by the state government. So this committee formation is different from earlier committee, and as per last committee formed, expert body committee function under the direct supervision of Supreme Court also, and this committee also will also direct supervision of Supreme Court, but this committee formation is different from earlier committee because that committee members are officials of government and state government officials, and some of advocates also like amicus curiae. But in this committee, which will form by Supreme Court in future, there is only experts and environmentalists and some of state and central government officials. There is
Right,
a difference
Piyush.
between
Right, Piyush, thank you for joining us with those details. An expert committee will be formed, and after 4 weeks, the case will be heard once again